What is going on, guys? Expert29 here, and today I have a really cheap but interesting game to show you as a part of Obscure Gaming. That game is, even though you've already read this video title, the Spongebob movie PC game. Let's take a look. So to start off with, we have the main menu, because I couldn't be bothered looking at the splash screens. Pretty simple, kid-friendly design, standard stuff. And obviously no graphic settings, because the developers couldn't afford them, or something like that. Which means that this game runs at 480p, even on modern hardware and software. Enough of the menu. When we get in-game, we have the classic French guy explain the first 5 minutes of the movie's plot, of which this game is based on. Once that's done, we have an in-game cutscene for a couple of seconds, followed by actual gameplay. So the game is a point-and-click adventure game, based on the 2004 film, which we all know by now, but anyway, of the same name, where Spongebob thinks he's going to be put in charge of the new second Krusty Krab. And the part that I bothered to play had Spongebob getting ready for the big day, by doing activities like brushing his teeth and getting dressed. One part that is very present in the gameplay is SpongeBob will make a witty response every time you, as the player, click on an object or NPC that he feels like talking about, which at first was very much like SpongeBob in the movies and in the TV show. But after a while, it does get really irritating, especially when you can't figure out where to go and get stuck clicking on the same object loads of times with the same unskippable dialogue. In other words, the dialogue gets repetitive. And as you'll see, that's a common theme with this genre of point-and-click adventure/puzzle. The game tries to give the player a sense of choice with the character conversations, but it ultimately forces you to choose a specific piece of text to progress the story, which, even though it is based on the movie, it would have been nice to see a couple more endings. SpongeBob also walks really slow, like he broke his legs or something. Onto the controls. Just before we get into the story, right click, or left click if you're left-handed, is what you click on things with, and vice versa. For the inventory, or alternatively press the I key, P is the pause menu, S is the save key, I is the load key, and H is the help key, which vaguely shows you where to click. So simple stuff, really. So the first thing we need to do is find SpongeBob's underwear, which, spoiler alert, is in his chest? Where's the library? Anyway, then SpongeBob takes a shower, which we fortunately don't watch. After that, SpongeBob needs to brush his teeth. He could just bought a mint or gum, I guess, but I digress. And he just happens to be out of toothpaste. So we need to go to Squiddy's house and steal his toothpaste. No joke. SpongeBob commits an act of theft from his neighbour's house because he doesn't want to walk down to the shop and buy his own. But before SpongeBob can use Squid's toothpaste, he must first get his toothbrush, then walk over to Squid's house, into the bathroom, while Squidward is showering, did that just sink in, and talk to Squid about pointless things. Then he needs to turn off the radio, then go back to his house and talk to the guy that happens to be fixing his phone. Since when was SpongeBob's phone line behind his house? And whilst we're on that tangent, since when does SpongeBob have a back garden anyway? Then SpongeBob needs to physically send this guy into some sort of panic attack, just for no reason at all. Could just ask him to go away, and somehow fix the phone line for himself, only to then prank call Squidward and nick the toothpaste in the progress. I don't remember SpongeBob ever being this much of a jerk, ever. Not even modern Patrick is this bad. But once the toothpaste is nicked, we have to go back to the pineapple and brush the living daylights of those tooths. Then simply head for the Krusty Krab. But if you want to, you can go and see Patrick. And I feel like they nail Patrick's personality in this, as he says classic lines like, I love being purple. And when SpongeBob asks Patrick to get up and turn off the TV, Patrick says, no, no, you don't have to overreact. Which is just so much like Patrick would it's just so much like what Patrick would actually say in the TV shows and movies. I really liked how they handled Patrick, if it wasn't obvious already. And then we go to the next scene. Plankton. This is where I got bored and gave up, and I'll tell you why. The story is that we needed to help Plankton use Plan Z to steal the Krabby Patty formula. Once we get to play as Plankton in the Chum Bucket, we can interact with the main cafeteria and the science lab, which is fun for about 5 minutes or so, but quickly gets repetitive. Then we need to somehow move the SpongeBot, I like the reference, to get to Plankton's jetpack. Why can't you just walk around it? But for the life of me, I could not figure out what to do. I don't know if I'm just an idiot, or if this is really that badly designed, but I spent something like quarter of an hour just on this one puzzle. If you have got past this bit, explain how to in the comments. And that's it, really. After I gave up and started writing the script, and boom, here we are. Just before we conclude, there was some sped up audio of SpongeBob TV that I wanted to share with you, except it slowed down. Unfortunately, I couldn't distinguish what the person was saying properly, but it sounded fancy, so I'll leave it up to you guys. So in conclusion, this game gets a meh from me. Story is meh, the voice actors were decent overall, the gameplay was interesting but very repetitive over time, and the resolution was awful, but for 20p it was fine I guess. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video.